I put a hidden in my 7-year-old stepdaughter's room to prove she was hurting my baby. Instead, I saw who the real monster was, and now I am running for my life. My name is Jessica. I married David 3 years ago. David is the kind of man every woman dreams of. He's a surgeon, drives a Tesla, and treats me like a queen. But he came with baggage. His daughter, Chloe. Chloe's mother died in a car accident when she was 2. Since the day I moved in, that child has stared at me with eyes that look like black holes. She never smiles. She never plays. She just watches. 6 months ago, I gave birth to our son, Liam. That was when the nightmare started. I would wake up in the morning to find Liam crying hysterically. When I checked his body, I would find small purple pinch marks on his arms and legs. Every single time, Chloe would be standing in the doorway, just watching. "She's jealous, Jess," David told me one night, pouring me a glass of expensive wine. "She's a troubled kid. I think we need to send her to that boarding school in Vermont, for Liam's safety." I felt guilty, but I agreed. I couldn't risk my baby's life. Last Tuesday, I found a distinct, red handprint on Liam's back. It was small, a child's size. I lost it. That was when I screamed at her in Target. I told David, "She leaves this house, or I do." David hugged me. "Don't worry, babe. I'll make the arrangements tomorrow." But I needed proof. If I was going to send a 7-year-old away, I needed to be 100% sure. So, I bought a hidden spy camera disguised as a smoke detector and installed it in the nursery. I didn't tell David. Last night, we went to a gala. We left the kids with a new babysitter. We got home late, and David went straight to the shower. I sat on the edge of the bed and pulled up the footage on my phone. I fast-forwarded to 8:30 p.m. The door to the nursery creaked open. I held my breath, waiting to see Chloe creep in to hurt my son. But it wasn't Chloe. My perfect surgeon husband walked into the room. He wasn't wearing his nice guy face. His expression was cold, terrifyingly blank. He walked over to the crib. I watched in horror as he reached in and pinched our son's thigh. Hard. Liam screamed. Then, David leaned over the crib and whispered something that made my blood freeze. "Cry louder, buddy. Just a few more bruises and that little witch will be gone for good. Then it's just you, me, and Mommy. No extra baggage." I dropped the phone. He wasn't protecting us from Chloe. He was framing his own daughter because he didn't want to deal with her anymore. Suddenly, the bathroom door opened. Steam poured out. David walked out with a towel around his waist, smiling that perfect, charming smile. "Hey, beautiful, you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost." He looked at my phone lying on the rug. The screen was still glowing. His smile vanished. "Jessica," he said, his voice dropping an octave. "What are you watching?" I grabbed my keys and ran. I didn't even grab a coat. I just ran to the car, locked the doors, and peeled out of the driveway. I picked up Chloe from her school this morning. I didn't tell the school why. We are currently in a Motel 6 2 towns over. I have the footage. I have the proof. But David is powerful. He knows the police chief. He has money. I just got a notification on my phone. David has reported his Tesla as stolen. And then a text from him. "Bring my son back, Jess, or I'll tell the cops you're the one who's been hurting him. Who do you think they'll believe? The respected surgeon? Or the exhausted mother with postpartum depression?" I'm shaking. I don't know who to trust. But I know one thing. I am looking through Chloe's backpack right now, looking for a snack, and I found a drawing she made. It's a picture of David, but he has red eyes and devil horns. And written in red crayon at the bottom are the words, "Daddy made Mommy sleep, too." I think David didn't just frame Chloe. I think he killed his first wife. And I think I'm next. Should I go to the cops? Or will he turn it around on me? I sat in the motel room, staring at the drawing Chloe made with trembling hands. The cold and fear consumed me, but I knew one thing. I couldn't let David get away with what he'd done. Not just for Liam, but for myself and for everything he'd done in the past. I decided not to go to the police just yet. Partly because I was scared, partly because I didn't know if I could trust anyone anymore. But I knew what I had to do, and I would do it carefully. I began to plan. I scoured all the documents related to David that I could find. Information about his first wife's accident, statements, messages he'd sent me. Every little piece of information could be an important clue. When Chloe finally drifted to sleep on the small Motel 6 bed, I sat down on the floor and opened my dusty old laptop. My hands shook so badly I could barely type. But I knew, if I didn't do this now, I might never get another chance. I began digging through everything related to David. Things I had ignored before because I loved him too much, or was too naive to understand. I reopened the file about his ex-wife, Melissa's death. The very first page knocked the breath out of my lungs. The accident report said Melissa's car had lost control on a quiet mountain road. No witnesses, no cameras, no skid marks. But what froze my blood was the note at the bottom. Seatbelt system appears to have been cut, but insufficient evidence to determine foul play. I couldn't believe I had once read that line and dismissed it. I dug further into David's emails. He had accidentally synced my phone to our shared Google account months ago. And then I found them. Deleted messages from an unnamed sender. Has she started getting suspicious? I told you, the first accident went smoothly. The girl is still a problem. My heart felt like it was exploding in my chest. I opened the old photo album next. I had never looked closely at their family pictures before. In one photo, taken shortly before Melissa died, I saw faint bruises on her wrist, bruises identical to the ones on Liam's tiny arms. There was also an old video I had never played. I clicked it. Melissa stood in the kitchen, filming secretly with her phone. Her voice trembled as she whispered, "If anyone finds this, please look at David. He's not who he pretends to be." Footsteps echoed in the background. She flinched and shut off the camera. The video cut abruptly. I pressed my palms to my forehead. I wanted to scream, but I didn't dare wake Chloe. Next were the bank statements. A large transfer had been made to a private behavioral treatment facility exactly 3 months before the accident. I looked it up. It was a place for correcting difficult or unwanted child behavior. I decided to send all the evidence to an old friend, a lawyer I knew before I married David, someone I knew I could trust. At the same time, I couldn't stop thinking about Chloe. Even though I knew she had been abused by David, I couldn't leave her behind. I arranged to meet Chloe the next morning. When she looked at me with her dark eyes, I knew she understood I was trying to protect her. "Chloe," I said softly but firmly, "we have to leave. From now on, no one can hurt us." Chloe nodded, holding my hand, and we left the motel room, ready to leave once again. But when we reached the door, I saw something I never expected. David was standing outside the motel room. He didn't have his perfect smile. It was just silence. I could feel the coldness in his stare, the tension in the air. "Jessica," he said, his voice low and threatening. "You think you can run away? You can't escape me." My heart raced. Everything seemed to be collapsing, but I couldn't let him win. As David stepped closer, I knew I had to act fast. I reached into my pocket, pulled out my phone, and pressed send. The evidence had been sent, and I knew I wasn't alone anymore. The police would be here soon. I could feel David's cold breath, but I wasn't afraid anymore. There was only one thing I knew for sure now. This was the moment David would have to pay for everything he'd done.